Hello guys, welcome to the first tutorial of Angular on this YouTube channel Jack of JavaScript. In this tutorial, we are going to see some of the points which are the most basic and which are very important points for Angular development. Right? So these are the things that we will cover in this tutorial. So first we'll start with what are the prerequisites for setup. Also, what are the prerequisites for learning the Angular. After that, we'll see what is Node.js and its role in Angular application, why Node.js is required with Angular, right? After that, we'll see why Angular, when there are lots of frameworks like AngularJS, React.js, Vue.js, right? Out of all these, why to learn Angular? After that, we'll see what is transpilation. Then, what is NPM, right? NPM stands for Node Package Manager, but what is that? We'll see that. After that, we'll see which text editor should be used, and then how to install Angular and what are the commands that should be known for Angular development, right? And then we'll start with the first application, right? So starting from the prerequisites to Angular, these are the prerequisites, right? If you are planning to start, if you are planning to start the Angular, if you want to learn the Angular, then HTML, CSS and JavaScript are the basic things that should be known to you prior to starting the Angular, right? But if you don't know these things, then also it's quite good, because as on when it is required, we'll cover all these things in next tutorials. Then what are the prerequisites for uh, creating the environment, and that is for the Angular setup, are like you should have the Node.js installed, and that should be from nodejs.org. Then once you install the Node.js, the npm, the Node Package Manager, will be inbuilt into that package, and it will also be present with that Node.js, right? Then npm is basically, it comes with set of commands. It has multiple commands. You can just enter that command and it will download all the other packages. And similarly, you can install Angular with a simple command. After that, you can install the VS Code for this Angular development. So why Angular, right? The first reason is, you might have a question that why to learn Angular when there are lots of frameworks like React, then Vue.js, then Meteor.js, right? But I would suggest to go for Angular because it is a Google project. It is developed by Google itself, and it's a very long-term project. And they have set the timelines for every 6 months. They are releasing new version with some additional features, and those are very beneficial for developers, right? So that's why it has become the most fastest. It is one of the fastest framework for Angular development, for web development actually, right? From Angular 9 onwards, they have introduced this Ivy renderer, right, which makes it more faster, right? All these are technical things you can keep in mind as of now. We will discuss it in more details in next lectures, right? So Angular uses reusable components. Also, it uses TypeScript. AngularJS was developed, it was based on JavaScript. The first version of Angular, it was known as AngularJS. And after that, Angular 2 onwards, they have shifted to TypeScript platform. And then TypeScript follows the class-based architecture for object orientation. And they've introduced these classes, modules, and interfaces. Then what is Node.js and its role in Angular app? Basically, Node.js is, it creates a dummy local server for your Angular application, right? So the main thing is, as we just now discussed, that Angular is based on TypeScript, right? It uses TypeScript, but most of the browsers, right, they do not understand the TypeScript. Angular is based on TypeScript, and browser can't understand it for execution, right? That's why TypeScript has to be converted into JavaScript, and that is what the transpilation process is. So this transpilation is done by Node.js. So basically, Node.js transpiles it into JavaScript, and browser renders the pre-compiled code on every changes that you saved, right? So this is the role of Node.js, that is simply for conversion of your TypeScript code into JavaScript, because all of the browsers supports only JavaScript, right? Then this is the process of transpilation. This is the basic definition. Transpilation is the process of conversion of one form of language into another form with the similar level of abstraction, right? The same thing happens with C++. When you write a C++ code, it has to be converted into C language and then it gets executed. The same thing happens with TypeScript and JavaScript also. Then what is npm? Npm stands for Node Package Manager. Npm comes with set of commands, as we discussed. It has number of commands, and for every command it downloads that particular library, right? We'll see this practically after few lectures, right? Then you can write your Angular application without npm also, right? You can use yarn is also a tool which downloads the packages, right? You can do that. Also you can write your Angular application without TypeScript and JavaScript using Dart is another language. Using that also you can start your Angular development, right? So text editor is, I would suggest Visual Studio, but as per your comfort level you can choose any of these, right? So how to install Angular is basically you can directly install it by opening your command line and just enter this command, and you will, so it will download the Angular code, right? But before that you should have the Node.js installed, and these are the important commands which are helpful for you, right? You can get the Node version, right? So thank you so much guys, keep learning, keep watching. This is Jacob.